Okay, continuing here in the words of the Orchos, Yosher, and the TEFILLAH, and speaking about the importance of davening together with a Minyan. And he writes, Chazal teach us in the Gemara in Tainis, TEFILLAH satziba miskabeles, that the prayers of a tzibur of people davening together are accepted by Hashem, avshem mechavnin, even if we don't have the right kavanah. Spoke about beforehand how important kavanah is, how important intention is in every word that you say. And obviously a prayer that doesn't have kavanah is much weaker tefillah. If you're together with the tzibur, you're together with everybody else. So even if we don't have the right kavanahs, in the schus of the tzibur, HaKadosh Baruch Hu accepts our tefillahs. Now he writes in parentheses, Ve'ena kavanah shesham patur legamri mechaven. Don't think that you don't have to try at all to have kavanah when you come to shul. Ela shal kol panim, nevertheless, ein tefillah nimeses, your tefillah will not be rejected if you daven in a minyan without kavanah. If you're by yourself and you're davening without kavanah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is much less likely to accept your tefillahs. V'amar, it says in the Midrash, Tefillas tzibur ein chayzeres reikam la'olam. The prayers of a tzibur, of everyone davening together, is never returned empty-handed. La'olam, never. That means that if we daven together, whatever it is that we're asking and davening for, you might not see the answer immediately, but the tefillahs are never answered, they're never sent back empty. V'amar, when it says further, also in the Midrash in Eicha Rabbah, hamispal l'achar tzibur, someone who davens after the tzibur. What does that mean? That means a person comes into shul late, and they're davening, and they daven after the tzibur. They don't come to shul at all. They daven after the tzibur davens. Ma'asav nifratin, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will scrutinize his actions. What does that mean? If someone davens not at the same time as the minyan, they daven after that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu baydek b'ma'asav, Hashem begins to examine this man's deeds, his actions, to see if he's really worthy of having his tefillahs answered. Umi yitzdak, who is able to survive the scrutiny of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that we know for sure that we're going to be answered. And therefore he writes how important it is that a person davens with a minyan. Now he quotes over here a Maisa that's brought down in the Mishnah Berurah, but it's based on the following, halacha. And the halacha is, the halacha is, like this. It says in the Mechaber, Yishtadel Adam le'ispalu b'beis haknesses imatzim. A person should make effort, which all of you did tonight, to leave your homes, to leave the office early, to make it through the traffic, and daven in a beis haknesses, in a shul, together with the tzibur, with a minyan. Vimu honest, if a person is honest, he's under some kind of a duress. She'eino yachol lava lebeis haknesses, and he can't, for whatever reason it is that he's held back. He can't make it to shul. The game is on. He can't leave the game in the middle. Kidding. Yeah, a real honest that a person has that he cannot make it. Yechavin lihispalo b'shah she'atziva mispalo. At least when you're going to daven, you should daven at the same time that they're davening in shul. At least you're kind of together with the minyan. You're not all by yourself. So you couldn't get out of the house for one reason or another, and you know that minyan is 7:55, and you know that in Makor Chaim they always start 3 minutes late. So that means that at 7:58 you have to start saying Ashrei to make sure that you're davening together with the minyan. Fine, if a person lives far away from minyan, he has no choice, fine. Even if you're nenas, you're under duress, even worse. You couldn't daven at the time that the tzibur was. You're home. You couldn't daven at the time of 7:55. So now it's later. So what do? You still can't make it to a minyan. Then at least he says, at least come to shul. Okay, so you missed the minyan, and you couldn't daven in your house at the time that the minyan was going on. At least have the schus of the tefillah of being in shul. Daven here. You know the code. I'll tell you how to get in. Come, you want to come 11 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning just to daven Ma'ariv? No problem. You come and daven in the shul. Now he quotes over here the following Maisa. And he says like this. What does it mean that when a person is under duress and they cannot make it to a minyan? A person is weak, even if they're not sick. Whatever, they wake up in the morning and they're very shvach. they're very, very weak, and they try to get out of bed. They cannot get out of bed. So, or they had a very long day. They, I don't know, were the camp counselor. They went on 7 hikes, and they were taking care of 20 kids on the bus, backwards and forwards. The kids were driving them crazy. They come home. They sit down in a chair. It's time to leave now for mincha. They can't get up. They're not sick. They just can't get up. Okay? He says that's one honest. I'm afraid to say this one, but I'll say it anyway. A person is aynis mammon. A person is having a hard time making a living. If he makes the effort that he needs to make it to shul, he's afraid he's going to lose out on his business. He's allowed to daven in his house by himself, or he's allowed to come to shul by himself and daven without the minyan. Okay, but that's not the mice he wants to bring. Then he says, but if you're already making the money that you need to survive, but you want to make more, you want to buy another piece of property, you want to work a little bit more overtime and miss the minyan, already on that he says, do not try to make extra money and miss the tzibur and miss davening together with the minyan. There's a difference between making extra money and losing money out of your pocket. V'chein kosev b'shav Yaakov sefer shav Yaakov v'heir al goyin marenu zalman meralis av bezdin dekilas kodesh Hamburg. And he says the following story. There was a great tzaddik whose name was Zalman Meralis. He was the Av Bezdin, the head of the Bezdin in the city of Hamburg, which I believe is Germany, if I'm not mistaken. And every morning he would leave his house already wrapped in his talis and tefillin, and he was on the way to shul like he normally was. He meets up a fellow on the street, and he had a lot of diamonds for sale. And he told him, listen, Rabbi, come to my house. You're a rabbi, how much money do you make? Come to my house, I got a sack of diamonds. I'll give you the diamonds, I'll give you a good deal on them. You'll go and sell them, you make a lot of money. But he was on the way to go down with the minyan. So the rabbi answered him, do me a favor. I'm on my way to shul right now to daven and speak to Hashem. Wait for me till after davening is over. I'll come to your house. You'll sell me the stones. I'll make a lot of money. It's very kind of you. Just wait for me. However, as Rabbi Meralis was in the middle of davening Shacharis, this man couldn't wait. He found another guy in the street. He says, if you want to make a good deal, come to my house right now. I'll sell you a lot of diamonds. And he sold the whole pouch of diamonds. And what happened? So it brings down what happened was rot. So the rot was the dollar then. The man made thousands of dollars off these precious stones that were sold, and Rabbi Meralis lost all of it. But the rabbi was exceedingly happy. He was overjoyed. He threw away all the money to have that one davening shachris together with its tzibor, together with the minyan. And therefore, a person who has an opportunity to daven with a minyan, and they can push themselves a little bit extra to get there. You're missing out on certain things. Don't lose the opportunity. The schus that a person has to daven with a minyan is enormous. And then he brings down from over here, from the Chuvas Beis Yosef, the yesh liknois hanashim shemoinin leilach beis hagneses. We should give a kanas. We should find people who don't come to the shul, mishum sha'iskin b'Torah, even if they're learning, or mishum shemistakrin mammon, they're trying to make a living, and they don't come to shul for the minyan. We should make them pay. The tzedakah box should get very heavy from the people that don't come to the minyan on time or don't daven with the tzibur. Anyway, the point is that you don't understand the schus. We don't understand what it means to daven together with the tzibur. Everybody's tefillah is going up together to the Rebbeinu Shalom. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't peer down on you and check into your maisim, to your deeds, what you did today, what you didn't do today. He sees you together with Klal Yisrael. Our tefillahs are oila, they go up to Shemayim. And like it says over here, like we said, that tefillahs tzibur ein chazeres reikam la'olam, the prayers of a tzibur, of a minyan together, will never be returned empty-handed. Should be zeichem yet Hashem, that Hashem should hear all of our tefillahs.